Hey guys, this is William with another video for Play-agricola.com's YouTube channel and twitch.tv/play_agricola. I'm playing a lots of decks game. It's like, yeah, it's a lot of stuff. With PT 944, Astaroth, and Keith. I'm pretty much gonna have to read a bunch of cards. So Zoo Director is fantastic. Marriage Counselor. If another player has at least two more family members than you, or all other players have at least one more, pay a food to use a guest token that round. Interesting. Pig Owner. Game when you have 5 boar, you get 3 bonus points. Seed Starter. Once per round, you may pay 2 clay to place a grain vegetable from the supply 4 to 6 rounds in the future. Start of the round, you may receive and may immediately sow it. That's not bad. Wood collector, we know. Woodworker, we know. So yeah, just grab Zoo Director here. Uh, there's a bunch of different things that could come back. Bunch of different things could come back here. All right. Desperate Plowman. Play 5 food to plow 2 fields. Something like that's okay with a card like Zoo Director where you're really focusing on animals. Stable owner. For each animal you breed, you may place 1 food on this card. At the end of the game, you get 5 bonus points for 7 food. So if you breed 7 animals and pay 7 food. Wait, where does the 1 food come from? Does it come from your supply or does it come from... Damba says it's supposed to be like champion breeder. Where does the food come from? Why am I... This is like a 10-year-old card. Why am I commenting on 10-year-old cards when I'm drafting? It's interesting. Stone starter. Around 6 or later, and you have exactly 2 rooms. Pay 2 food to immediately renovate to stone at no cost. Uh, that's really strong. Getting to stone with 1 action is really strong. 6 random building resources on each of the next 6 round spaces. Okay, House Steward, Field Master, Work Phase. Your last person can use 2 unless they're already taken. Grain Plow or Sow Bake. Ah, I see. So you do 2 things at once. Each time 2 occupation space, you can do this. It got rewritten. Cocotte, Pasture Planner. So, do I want to pick up Stable Owner and try to breed throughout the game, or do I want to take a card like Pasture Planner and say, hey, if I draft Pasture Planner, then I should be able to get animals pretty quickly. Oh, so we have Stone Starter into Lighthouse Keeper. Jeez, well, I probably don't want to pass that. Shingle Maker. Whenever another player uses Reno, give them a read. If you do, you get a grain and a bonus point. As soon as you have 6 ox in front of you, include... Oh, so this is a growth card. Seed Trader, Life Binder. Baker, Game Catcher. Play this card. 1 food for each remaining harvest to immediately get a cattle and a boar. So Game Catcher seems pretty good given Zoo Director Pasture Planner, but I don't really want to pass Lighthouse Keeper. Not considering I just passed Stone Starter. Could take Reader as well. I don't imagine I get Stone Starter back, but I'll try for it anyways. So, wow, we've got Journeyman here. Stone Starter, getting Stone Starter back with Journeyman would be insane. That would be insane. I could, so okay, so if Stone Starter's not coming back, I can take Village Fool and dump my useless ox. Or I can take Journeyman, and even if I don't play Lighthouse Keeper, I could still try to Reno. Like if I get a Reader back, for example, I could still try to Reno pretty quickly. Do I want a 3-point Pig Owner, or do I want to take Wood Collector? So Pasture Planner's got to get played stage 1. Otherwise, nothing else really has to. Okay. Yeah, let's take pig owner, sure. And now I'm really looking for some occupation, late game occupation help. Because director, pig owner, journeyman can all be played later in the game. So, looking for something along those lines. Okay. Okay, this is gonna be pretty gross. This is gonna be pretty gross. Lighthouse collection, Lighthouse Keeper is awesome. Also, did you get stuck with a PT collection game? Yeah, I've got a pretty tight window. Going to getting picked up to go to the airport in not too long. So I had a very tight time window, so I was not in a position to reject any games. And actually, I'm very lucky that it's starting when it is. That's actually really good for me. So yes, Lighthouse Keeper seems very strong, and then I get to pick up like the fact that I wield Stone Starter. So like two other players knew about Lighthouse Keeper, and then let Stone Starter go all the way around. So yeah, I mean, part of it is like these guys were not drafting, like hate drafting at all. Um, okay, and then Game Catcher like is just more animals. I almost wonder if I want something like a Seed Seller here. Now, the reason to take something like Seed Trader is that I'm gonna be action light, but like, is it worth it? And like, there are diminishing returns on animals. Like, once I max all three animal types, which is really hard to do, right? Then at that point, I'm gonna want to start turning animals into crops would be better. But odds are I'm not doing that, so I'll take this Game Catcher here. Sure. All right, pig bladder. For each boar you turn into food, you receive one bonus point and one more food. My God. What? What? Once you use this ability for the first time, you can't reno. Well, good thing I renoed a stone for free. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Is there a card in here that's relevant that I really want to get back? Upon additional field feature majors. Probably that's not something I'm going for. Maybe just wheel and amusement park. But yeah, pig bladders is absurd, and it is a fantastic card for me to have picked up here. Dragonstone. Am I actually building stone rooms? Is that something I'm actually going to do though? Like build multiple stone rooms? It just feels like Zoo Director tells me that I can go after the animals. Anyways, so I quite like Farm School here. It can play like Pig Owner round 13 and Zoo Director round 14. So say I play, yeah, say I use it to play Game Catcher and then Pig Owner and then Zoo Director. I play Pasture Planner, Lighthouse Keeper, and Stone Starter manually, and probably Journeyman manually as well. Am I going to be in a position to do that? Will I have two fields, two crop zone in round 11? Maybe. Let's look at the rest of this. So action, armory, put stuff on this card. Each time before you build rooms or reno, you can take a good from this card. Study spurt, two majors. Start of the next two rounds, play a food to play an Ock. This is interesting. It can also play it can play Stone Starter Lighthouse Keeper, but like that requires building two majors, which seems not guaranteed. Menagerie could be some food. Mountain Cave. Why not? You can easily do both. Yeah, yeah. I agree. What do I want to do here? Do I want to pick up Farm School? I feel like if I pick up Farm School, I'm probably not going to build rooms. I could pick up like Menagerie just as an easy point. I could pick up Study Spurt. But building like what major am I building other than a cooking hearth, right? Like I'm building the cooking hearth and dot dot dot. Maybe something else? I'll take Study Spurt here. The synergy of playing these like play this start play around 5 seems pretty good. Oh my god, donkey. Oh, there's fruit tree for the angry duck. So animal yard increases my donkey. The thing that I don't like about donkey here is that it lowers my total amount of animals I can hold without stables. I could probably just build stables anyways. Yeah, I could play donkey. Um, Downsizing does work with Lighthouse Keeper because what I can do is I can build a wood room, downsize it, and then play Stonehouse Keeper or Stone Starter Lighthouse Keeper, which is gross. Yeah, I could do that. That would be very ambitious. That would be very ambitious. But I think Sid made an excellent point when he said you need to score 65 to win this game. Also, one of the things I hate about doing Lighthouse Keeper and Stone Starter in this game is that one of these players are going to be doing a totally non-family growth strategy, which might leave family growth super open for someone else. So I think this is okay. If you have exactly 5 pastures, wait, reno your wood hut to clay for free. Renovate your clay to stone by paying the cost. Doesn't matter. Pitchfork. Extend or reno, you pay read directly from accumulation spaces. Weird. Newspaper workshop. Start of each harvest, play an occupation for free. You have to return the BMW. Dover Corn Sheaf seems fine. Easy points. Building the BMW and returning it. As much as I want to play Ox like later in the game, I think returning the BMW is a pretty significant cost. Yeah, I think I'm taking one of these two, and I Yes, I lean towards dough. Yeah, I think I lean just take dough here. Yeah, the other advantage of that, Sid, is like if I grow early, I have lots of actions to get major improvements for Study Spurt as well. Like, yeah. So Dragonstone came back. Family tree, food for every offspring on all farms. I mean, I am planning to play 7 Ox, I think, but I don't think that I'm. I think by the time I'm playing Family Tree, the food is a lot less relevant than it would otherwise be. I could take Amusement Park, I could take Dragonstone. So, building stone rooms is not really important if I'm downsizing because, like, I'd have to build 3 more rooms to grow. So probably I'm just taking Amusement Park here, which is too bad because Dragonstone is neat. But I mean, I wasn't too set on that strategy, anyways. I think this is Menagerie, in my opinion. So Angry Duck, there is a combo with Angry Duck in Amusement Park, right? But Menagerie, I instead of paying a bunch of food to get some points, Menagerie gets me another point and gives me a bunch more food. So, especially since I am growing twice. What? What? Guys, what? I just got a 7th pick donkey. I'd have been happy with 4 and 8 here. I'd have been happy with Animal Yard. I just got a 7th pick donkey. What? What? So the reason that I'm pretty happy to take donkey here is pig's bladder. That there's like a limit on how many animals I can want to like because as much as with Zoo Director I want to have a ton of animals, really once I trigger pig owner, I'm just turning all those pigs into points at 1-to-1, right? So and yeah, so like normally I'd say yeah, donkey like really is annoying because it hurts my animal capacity, but like I can hold 6 cattle and 4 sheep and a boar or more if I build any stables. Um, so I think this is yeah. I think there's going to be a point where I'm like, well, I could take a 4th cattle, or I could take a boar that's just like very directly a point and a bunch of food. So I think that's the reason that donkey is better here. Animal feeder. On the day labor space, you also get your choice of 1 sheep or 1 grain. And Astaroth says, seriously? And then Astaroth plays excavate. Day labor fight! Day labor fight! Imagine Pig's Bladder and Animal Tamer's Apprentice in clay. That would be a lot, yeah. Um, well, some of them were like the thing is like I think Lookout just sent Chris a ton of cards, right? And some of them were really raw, like D deck and J3, J4, stuff like that. So I think that's what we're, yeah, I think that's what it is. At least that's my understanding. So Animal Feeder gets sheep or grain, and you can buy other stuff if you want to. Astaroth is going to day labor, and I'm just going to set out to build the first room. They're not actual D deck. No. You're right. But like 4 years ago, Lookout just sent like a Chris like a ton of cards, and I complained that they were super raw. Like they were not. Like I don't know if they literally like if Uva just literally gave them a list of like here's every card I've ever thought about, and then they just literally sent us that because a lot of them had very obvious problems, like wording problems, like right away. A lot of them were pretty obviously broken, um, and and then of course you have the problem where Chris is not that active, so he uploads the cards, and then they're just kind of stuck in that form, which is annoying. Am I gonna get Reedstone food again? Because Astaroth takes 2 reed, because with Excavator you get wood, clay, stone on your own. Getting 4 clay would also be fine. This is the shit Excavator. Day labor space, you get an additional wood and clay. Ah, okay. So it doesn't give you the option to buy a stone for 1 food. Astaroth, what's up? And then we've got Undergardener. So I get the Stonehouse Nuts hand because these guys are like fighting over their first pick Undergardener stuff. First pick day labor stuff. I'm guessing PT probably opened like 2 day labor cards and picked one and then wanted to wheel the other. And then Astaroth maybe took one as well. Hmm. Yeah, I think Revised Excavator would be better if Revised had more like the cost of miners in Revised are kind of funny in that there's like more stuff that costs wood. Like for I feel like there are not that many ox that cost like claystone, for example. Like I'd be pretty happy to play Revised Excavator if I had a handful of miners that had like woodstone, claystone costs. And I think there are not that many of them. Um, oh, sad. Okay, I'm gonna take 4 clay over the 2 reed. I'd much prefer another Reedstone food action to a 2 reed action. Oh, and I forgot to copy private teacher because Astaroth took forever. I forgot. Pretty sure Keith is just supposed to take 2 reed here, and then he's like in a really nice space to build, but he wants to get his ox out. There are a couple occupation, so there's a couple payoffs. So I'm guessing Keith might have also taken Reader, which is in the draft. So Reader, I have to be aware of one more private teacher action. Keith can play Reader and then be ready to hold, or no, I guess 2 more. Yeah, because he's at 3, so he needs to get to 6. By the way, I got my Twitch 2021 breakdown. You are my top stream. Guess how many times I used the well emote? Well, A 132, B 576. Well, it's not A, but all the other numbers are like ridiculously high. Is it B, Rilo Kren? 576 times? Flag in here. So yeah, I want to get Reedstone food next round. Astaroth might be going for the well though, given Flagon, so maybe we see Reedstone food. It is B, 576. That's a lot of times. So that's okay if I did on average one stream, one game a day, which is about right. Probably it's about right. And then you use the well got built in every one of those games and use the well emote twice. It's a lot. It's a lot of times. Oh man, the Reed's going to 3 here. What a game. I'm going to take Reedstone Food and probably build the fireplace second action. I do need to get Pasture Planner out as well. Give me the thumbs up, which you used 132 times. Nice. My breakdown was, I think it was my own stream. Actually, the email was kind of funny because it was like a bunch of placeholder emotes. But that might have been my old account that I haven't used in years. But it was like you watched Play-agricola and all the other were placeholder images. Yeah, that's true. Well, I was thinking about that. Yeah, so maybe that means on average you miss it. On average, the well is not built or it's missed 1/3 of the time, apparently, which happens, right? PT first action day labor fight. Well, nobody else is taking clay yet, so I guess I will play Pasture Planner here. Lets me breathe easy for the next stage. And I'm doing it like this. Yeah. I'm gonna build no, because if I downsize 3 fields from Donkey. Okay. Can I build stables on these? They can only be used for pastures. I guess I go back and build stables later. That's fine. The only problem with this layout is that it makes it difficult for me to like have 3 breeding pairs and donkey. But I think the plan is get a bunch of boar, get cattle at the minimum, and then I can just like pick up, really what I want 1,000,000 of is boar, and then get cattle at the end. Kristen, you can't build stables on them until after you build fences. That's fine. Yeah, and that makes sense. That's the conclusion I came to as well. Kristen must be. It says Kristen's in room 7, but also you're here. Welcome. Welcome, Kristen. And another big shout out to everyone who donated. We actually raised over $1,500, which was phenomenal. So big shout out. And Kristen, I think your name's up at the top there. It should be. So if Astaroth takes Reedstone Food, I build the well. Oh, he's got Cocotte. Excavator Cocotte. That's awesome. That's awesome. And he plays Keys. Okay. Keith is able to build, but Astaroth and Keith, yeah, they can make the build room space annoying, but I think I don't really care. I think I'm just building the room here anyways. Maybe the keys will chill Keith on doing it. And I mean, if Astaroth first moves start players in 5 into build, like, okay, I get first action in 6, I should have some good stuff. So I'm not too worried about that. Day labor fight. So I expect Astaroth is taking Reedstone food here to get the reed. And then, I mean, the fireplace is not forced. Could take 4 wood. But I don't really need hardly any wood this game, right? The only wood that I need is for building stables. Because downsizing plus pasture planner. That's all 15 all the wood for all my fences right there. Build the fireplace here. I either get 3 sheep or 5 food traveling players. Both of those seem good. Keith could take 4 wood here. Could be sewing. Guessing PT grabbed the farm school. Just looking at 2 fields here. And that Keith with private teacher probably did not take that card, so family growth flipped. Okay. Okay. Yep. I'm not even forced to first action grow. I can traveling players or sheep here. Astaroth has beast. Oh, man. As PT said, so many day labor cards in the game. Oh, uh, well, I'm going to take traveling players because the Lighthouse Keeper plus Stone Starter is going to require a large amount of food. So my dream scenario is that I 5 food into family growth and then I get the 4 sheep next round. Thanks, Chris, for this disgusting route. Yeah. Yep. Yep. This is pretty gross. So I probably play Lighthouse Keeper and Stone Starter manually, and then I use Study Spurt maybe for Zoo Director Pig Owner, or else maybe for like Game Catcher Pig Owner or Game Catcher Journeyman. Like I want to play Journeyman pretty quickly. Like, I might get fences into 4 sheep next round, right? Like, if Astaroth doesn't build the cooking hearth here, which he probably is not going to build the cooking hearth since he's already on day labor. I'm going to be allowed to fence into taking the sheep. So I get the first sheep grab, which I get to keep a breeding pair, and I get first family growth. Like, this is not how this game is supposed to work. Like, okay, have a 6 food action. Don't care. Really do not care. Really do not care. So PT's got Astaroth's gonna build grow. PT is gonna play field doctor. I expect PT will play field doctor. No, Astaroth's gonna take wood. Okay, family growth is gonna be left fallow this round. Astaroth just realized that he's allowed to build and grow here. I know it's frustrating when somebody does like you built a combo and then like you're like, oh, day labor should be easy, and then someone else plays a day labor card. I get it, that stinks. But I feel like this is not that difficult. I think build and to grow. Like you need to get actions so that you have time to take day labor. Like if one of your two actions is day labor play an improvement, that's not good enough. That's nowhere near good enough because the reason it's not good enough is because often your first action will have to be taking the resources which you then spend on like taking the resources which you then spend on day labor. So you're not actually like progressing your farm otherwise, aside from just building majors. You need to be doing more than that. Downsizing was just hilarious. Downsizing is just so dumb. What it lets me do this game, it's just so dumb. I mean, to be fair, downsizing is not the problem. The problem is Lighthouse Keeper Stone Starter, but and really, I think it's probably mostly just Stone Starter, right? Stone Starter about to save me a million actions. Asta, friend, please. Please, we gotta keep playing. Ah, okay. All right. Clay supports. This is making a lot more sense now from Astaroth. That is okay. Clay supports is okay. That makes a lot more sense. Astaroth having clay supports now. This game makes a little bit of sense. I was like, why is Astaroth refusing to build grow here? But that's why. Okay. I mean, Keith is going to build a bunch of rooms. So it seems like Astaroth is really falling way behind in the family growth queue. And I mean, you have one Reed and Thatcher, so you could have built a wood room and still gone back and built, 2 or 3 more clay rooms later. Probably that's what I would have done, but yeah. If you're worried about your feeding or whatever, I guess. Yeah. It's tough to not take build grow when you can. Because the action you lose in that immediate round you gain back really quickly. No imp. Just make sure. All right. So it is round 7. I have just grown to my 4th family member. I have fenced 15, have 4 sheep, and a fireplace on my farm. And I'm also in stone. Yeah. Okay, so am I doing like start player menagerie and taking a grain here with the idea of taking 6 wood next round? Because Keith also did not build again. So Astaroth does get to grow next round. That's good for him. Go ahead and play Menagerie and take a grain. I'm eating all. I have to eat down to my. Like, I have to eat all my sheep, but that seems fine considering there's 2 sheep and 4 food next round. Three 8 sheep and a food to feed 7. Degenerate. Super degenerate. Yeah. Super degenerate. What a game. So I'm eating a sheep for 3 food, essentially, because I pick up 2 sheep, and then I'll play Occupation Journeyman. And last action, take a vegetable, or build stables, or play Start Player Amusement Park. Probably not Start Player Amusement Park since I'm already Start Player. I'm enjoying having multiple actions. I guess I don't. They're not quite to myself because PT does have one more move. Yes, PT did grow last round. So, do need a bit more food. Maybe I could play joinery here if I think there's plenty of wood in the game, which there does seem to be. The other thing I could do is build the pottery, but yeah, I think I already have the wood, so let's just build the joinery. So then I buy a boar for a food and trigger menagerie. I can take 6 wood. Okay. Second action, traveling players. Astaroth might take the traveling players, I guess. I do need a bit more food because I want to breed my sheep and my boar here. Planning to last action take a boar. I can get a random plow action at some point because I only need to really activate Donkey twice, and I have so many actions I can probably afford to activate Donkey only once. Obviously more is better though. Astaroth building a major here, so probably the building the well. Okay. I get a food for Flagon. Thank you. Happy to pick up a food for Flagon. It's a lot of crops for PT. A lot of crops. And there was straw fences, which lets PT spend grain for wood. Not that that's even really a thing you need to do. So Keith second picked Marriage Counselor out of my opening hand. Yep. But he's a little late with that considering I went to 4 family members in 7. He could have activated it in 8. So I don't really know why he held on to it that long. Because he could have grown. He could have played that in 8, although maybe he didn't have the food to do so. Or he could have played it in 7, but he could have played it in 8. So yeah, it seems like it's a little late, but plow and pick up a boar. Armory on family growth. Okay. Yeah, it's 2 points and you get the resources back, so long as you, yeah. I guess the reed is not useful, but you can probably get at least a wood and a stone out of it. So you pretty much get the resources back for 2 points, so that seems good. 6 food, wood, feed 8. Buy a boar next round. Life Binder. If you have at least 5 planted fields, you may immediately get a family growth action with or without room. Yeah, nice. Yeah, that was a card in the draft. But yeah, unless PT has something that lets him turn all these crops into points, which he may have something like that. But I mean, yeah, he may have something like that. Amusement park here? Or do I play Study Spurt? Yes, I play amusement park, which I believe gets me 4 food. Yeah. Cooking hearth? Yeah, although with pig's bladder, it seems like I should have more than enough food without it. Keith has so much read. He's building and the thing is, we know he's going to return the BMW too, right? He's going to return it for that car that doesn't play Ox, isn't he? This is Keith we're talking about. So take sheep for the food, play game catcher, and then take a vegetable. Sure. Let's do this. Let's eat down all my sheep, eat 3 sheep, and then... Yeah, because I don't want to start eating boar until I've... I don't want to start eating boar until I've got the thing. Did I pay... I think I didn't pay for the wood. I think I forgot to pay for the... Yeah, I think I forgot to pay for the wood I eat in the harvest. Yeah, so building only a single room seems like a mistake to me. I guess he wants to keep Marriage Counselor going, but I think what you're trying to do is, well, I don't know. I don't know what Keith is trying to do. I definitely want to build stables next round. So I am fighting with Astaroth for the build room space. Although, yeah, I guess Astaroth will want build grow next round, potentially. I was gonna first move start player, but maybe I first move 4 stables, second move start player, study spurt, play pig owner zoo director. Spending that sheep for 3 food might have cost me a point, because it might be that the food isn't relevant. So the menagerie pays for my awk, and then I spend another 3. Peasant's Boutique. Okay, so that's not the one I was thinking of. I guess he had private teacher, so maybe he passed that because he had private teacher. Ah, Astaroth is building this round. Okay, that works. Vegetable here. We'll use the amusement park food to buy a cattle. It's going to remove this so that the journeyman is free. Going to start player. It's super annoying for these guys, but like I have nothing else to do. You have given me nothing else to do. You have given me such a degenerate game that I have like nothing to do here. Not getting a stables action would be annoying, but I'll just plow here. For stables here. There's maybe an argument that I should do a so bake there. If I think that PT needs a so bake, but PT doesn't really need the so bake. PT would rather so bake once he's gotten these vegetables. And if I take food here, I get to keep a boar, but I think sowing makes sense. I eat 4 food, a boar, and a wood. Then I'll eat a sheep to pay for my occupation, and I buy boar. Yeah, I buy as many boars as I can get so that when I play start player pig's bladders, I get like 6 or 7 points out of it. Family growth flipped. So amusement park buys boar. Eat a sheep to play for an auk. Stable owner. This is the one that cares about breeding animals. I play pig owner. And I'll take family growth. Sure. Give myself the points, I guess. Start marking points generally. Yep. And then if start player comes back, I'll play start player pig's bladders. Actually, I think I play donkey because I don't have to actually. Well, if I play donkey, then I do need to eat animals because I don't have room for everything. Yes, I won't have room for all of my stuff. No wood on the table. Not too much for me to do. Aside from taking a 1 point boar action. If I don't get to 5 fields, I'll be a bit sad. I definitely will start player donkey But if I start player Donkey and Astaroth and Keith both need one more plow action. So okay, PT will family growth, Astaroth will plow, so I get start player Donkey. Keith might plow. If Keith doesn't plow, then I have a chance of wheeling plow. But if Keith does plow, if Keith or Astaroth plows and I don't wheel plow, then I probably don't wheel plow in 14. We'll see. Don't know that yet. So, what's left for me to do? Grain might be worth a point. Grain might be worth a point. Bio round 13, F for a knock. The PT managed to get 3 breeding pairs, so that's good for PT. That is good for PT. So we're both on 2-room houses. I have the stables edge. PT. If I get Plauso, we should have very similar crop scores. I'm expecting to have a yeah. I mean, the pig's bladders is just yeah. Pig's bladders with this setup was just it's very degenerate. Very degenerate. Now, okay, so the thing is, keeping those boar would have there was value to keeping those boar, but what Pig's Bladder does is it says I don't really care so much about the donkey, not like capping my animal capacity because donkey was gonna really cap my animal capacity. But since I have Pig's Bladders, I can just hold all the boar points on Pig's Bladders itself. Um, yeah, obviously it makes my zoo director a lot worse, but it's still gonna be net positive. Oh, PT took Plauso. Um, I'm surprised by that. I guess Keith is the only threat to family growth. PT feeling that Plow that so is contested. I'm a bit surprised by that. Okay, it's fine with me. So I'm just gonna eat 7 boar here to 21 food. So I'm not beating boar here. Breeding boar is a thing. I could have done that, eat the sheep and bred the boar. I think it ends up being... So if I breed the boar, I would get an extra point out of the boar versus getting an extra point out of the sheep. More food this way. Or sorry, more food that way with eating the sheep and breeding an extra boar. I think it's the same. Points to historical survey. There was a giant dip in the local boar population. Yes, there was. Someone went out and killed all of them. Okay, well, I really have almost nothing to do here. Just take wood. The pottery is available, so I could 2 clay build the pottery, or 2 stone build the pottery. Thing is, Astaroth might want to do that. Astaroth's not getting a reedstone food action, I guess. Astaroth doesn't need reed. Astaroth would need 2 stone, and when does armory give you stone? Every time you build rooms, you can take. So, are you allowed to pay with this? Keith has War Plow. So Keith will definitely be doing Plow 1. I mean, when PT went for the 7th field, it became clear that I was going to be stuck on 4 fields. That's okay. Take 2 wood and 4 clay. Sure. I'm gonna max out the animals that I can hold. I guess if I could get an extra cat, like holding an extra cattle would be a point. But the boar is always worth a point, so it's just always worth taking the boar because then I can still take 1 boar or 1 cattle in the future. Because yeah, I think the cattle, the 6th and 7th cattle is worth a point because the 7th makes me have 12 animals for Zoo Director. Take this clay, and that's it. Feed 10. Buy a boar. I guess I'm supposed to sow a grain here because then the vegetable is a 1 point move. So I have 1 point boar, cattle, and vegetable, and 2 point fields. And then I have a 3 point pottery action. I have a 2.3 wood action. So yeah, I just need to get some stuff back. Just gets a pretty really anything really. Gross. His hand is gross. I mean, it's PT Collection Draft 10, so we're pretty much playing a power game. So, you know what? As good as my hand is, my opponents have hands as well. I think Astaroth's hand is the weakest. Keith's hand is pretty weak, but PT has a hand. PT has a hand. You need high ceiling cards like Stable Owner, and then you need ways to get a ton of stuff. So, like the Family Growth actions do that. PT plays Beaver Dam, which gets him food. Okay. So my 3 wood is a 2-point action, so I guess I do that next. 4 clay is also a 2-point action. 3 wood, 4 clay, and then these animal grabs are each worth a point. Astaroth has Mansion, so Mansion is a very fun resource dealer card. Mansion's a very fun resource dealer card. This is good. This is going to be big points. The well, the BMW, 6-room stone house plus mansion. Yep. It's going to be big points here for Astaroth. Really big points. Playing it there instead of day labor is a tiny bit interesting, I guess. Maybe I was supposed to take the 3 wood because PT takes 3 wood and then builds 3 stables, right? The last 2 moves. So I've cost myself a point there by going out of order. Whereas the clay should probably not be taken, or I don't expect the clay will be taken. No, PT's going on so bake. Okay, needs to feed, I guess. Okay. Yeah, the Sid was right when he said you need to score 65 to win this game. It's going to be up there. It's going to be a very high number. I mean, I'm over 70, right? Like this is a 55 point farm with 14 bonuses, with 18 bonuses. I think I'm over 70. Looks like 3 points from Zoo Director. 541. Yeah, I get to 11 at most. Oh, yeah, Astaroth's not scoring that well, actually. I guess he's got a... Oh, he hasn't renoed yet. Okay. So that's a 30. That puts him at 38. Plus 12. So yeah, he's going to be mid-50s. Depending on how many points he has to eat. Keith is... Well, Keith is not doing that well. PT will be high 50s. PT will be close to 60. Closing out the year with a power game. Oh, I'll be back. I'll be back before the end of the year, but yeah, not before Christmas. I won't be back before Christmas. Vegetable is still a point, even though all my animals are gone. Vegetable is still a point. Wood would have been worth a point as well. So this is 54 plus 10, 64. This is 70. The 70-point farm. The only thing I'm missing out on is a I have an empty space. $70 GG. So I beat PT by 12 because PT announced 58. So big stomp here. And what's Keith at? Has Keith announced his score yet? Don't think Keith has announced his score yet. 35. 58, 54, 70, 35. GG. Well, I haven't scored 70 for a long time. Although, to be fair, this is close to a power game, right? This is very close to a power game. This is much closer to a power game than I normally prefer to play. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed this little video. I hope everyone has a happy holiday. Yeah, stay safe and hope things go well. And thank you so much for your support this year. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much to everyone who subbed to the channel over the year. And thank you especially to everyone who donated for the charity event. Bye, guys.